Cherdiago is afraid that he will be fired and he has ruined his job when he sneezed at his general and they will fire him. He will be downgraded from trees and bushes to branches and twigs. They went home in despair after the play has finished. They went home sad and he kept talking to himself, why this happened to me? Why I went to the theater? Why I didn't sit on the balcony with people of my class? They loved sneezing on each other. The wife would say to him, come to bed, Ivan, it's okay. Cherdyakov would think of, ah, maybe I have to go to him and explain to him again that I didn't mean to sneeze at him. It was like out of my control. I have to go and ask him to forgive me. So the wife will say to him, maybe it's not good to remind him, Ivan. Cherdyakov says, no. If I ever expect to become a gentleman, I must behave like a gentleman. And then he waited for the whole morning to pass till he goes to the general office.
Which part interested you the most? The sneezing with people of our own class. They love sneezing on each other.
Come to bed, Ivan.
Perhaps if I call on the General and explain matters again, but in just a charming, honest and self-effacing manner, he would have no choice but to forgive me.
Maybe it's best not to remind him.
No, if ever I expect to become a gentleman, I must behave like one.
And so, the next morning came. This happened to be the day the General listened to petitions, and as there were 50 or 60 petitioners ahead of him, Cherdyakov waited from morning till late afternoon.
Next! I'm not next, Your Excellency. I'm last.
Very well then. Last!
That's me, sir.
And what is your petition?
I have no petition, sir. I'm not a petitioner.
Then you waste my time.
Do you not recognize me, sir? We met last night under rather explosive circumstances. I'm the splatterer.
Cherdyakov went to the general's office, and it happened that this day the general is used to receive petitions. Petitions is like requests from people, and the office was so occupied. There were like 50 or 60 petitions ahead before Cherdyakov. So he waited from morning till late afternoon. So the general will call next. Cherdyakov says, I'm not next, sir. I'm the last one. He says, yes, what's your petition? He says, I have no petition, sir. The general says, okay, don't waste my time. Okay. He says to him, Cherdyakov says to the general, do you not recognize me, sir? We met last night under rather circumstances. I am the splatter, he says. The what?
The what? The sneezer. The one who sneezed. The sneezing splatterer.
Indeed. And what is it you want now? A gesundheit?
No, Excellency, your forgiveness. I just wanted to point out that there was no political or antisocial motivation behind my sneeze. It was a non-partisan, non-violent act of God. I cursed the day the protuberance formed itself on my face. It's a hateful nose, sir, but I am not responsible for its indiscretions. Punish that which committed the crime, but absolve the innocent body behind it. Exile my nose, but forgive me, your kindship. Forgive me.
My dear young man, I'm far too busy to have time for your nasal problems. I suggest you go home and take a hot bath. Take a cold one. Take something. But don't bother me with this silly business again. Jibber. That's all I've heard all day. jibber jibber. Thank you, sir. God bless you and your wife and your household. May your days be sweet and may your nights be better than your days.
The feeling of relief that came over Cherjakov was enormous.
May the birds sing in the morning at your window and may your coffee be strong and hot.
The weight of the burden that was lifted was inestimable.
I worship the chair you sit on and the uniform you wear that sits on the chair that I worship.
He walked home, singing and whistling like a lark. Life was surely a marvel, a joy, a heavenly paradise.
Oh,
So he says to him, the sneezer, the one who sneezed at you, sir, I'm sorry. The general says, indeed. And what do you want now? A Gesundheit? A Gesundheit, girls, Gesundheit. You know when someone sneezes, we say to him, God bless you, or Yarhamukum Allah in Arabic. So this is in German. When someone sneezes, you say to him, Gesundheit. He says, you want this? Cherdyakov says, no, Excellency. I want your forgiveness. I want your forgiveness. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to it. I didn't mean to do it. I want you to punish that which committed the crime. What committed the crime? The nose. Punish my nose, but absolve the innocent body behind it. But set me free. The nose, it's my nose's mistake, not me. Exile my nose, but forgive me, your kindship, forgive me. So the general says to him, my dear young man, I am not angry with your nose. I am too busy to have time for your nasal problems. Nasal problems is problems in the nose. Look, go home, take a hot bath or a cold one, take anything, but don't bother me again with this silly business again. Jabber, 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 jabber. It is like blah, blah, blah. All I've heard day. Okay, and then he left. Cherdyakov felt so happy that the general has forgiven him for the mistake he did. So he says to him, thank you, sir. God bless you and your wife and your household. Thank you. May your days be sweet and your nights be better than your days. The writer is telling us how is he feeling. The feeling of relief that came over Cherdyakov was enormous. And then Cherdyakov will continue. May the birds sing in the morning at your window and the coffee be hot and strong. I worship the chair you sit on and the uniform you wear that sits on the chair that I worship. I am so happy. Why Cherdyakov is happy? Because the general forgave him. So he goes back home and he meets his wife.
God, I am happy!
And yet, when he came home, he began to think.
Have I been the butt of a cruel and thoughtless joke? Had the minister toyed with him? If he had no intention of punishing me, then why torment me so unmercifully?
If the sneeze meant so little to the minister, why did he deliberately cause Cherdyakov to writhe in his bed?
To twisting agony the entire night.
Cherdyakov was furious.
I am furious!
He foamed and fumed and paced during the night, and in the morning he called out for his wife, Sonia!
Sonia! I have been humiliated!
Cherdyakov was so happy. He went home and he was so happy. And suddenly he started to think, have I been the butt of a cruel and thoughtless joke? Is the general making fun of me? Is the general humiliating me? And the writer says, what is Cherdyakov thinking of? Had the minister toyed with him, played with him? Cherdyakov says, if he had no intention of punishing me, if he didn't care about this sneeze, why did he torment me so unmercifully? Why he did that to me? Of course he did nothing. The general did nothing to him. It is just in the mind of Cherdyakov. So the writer is telling us more of what Cherdyakov is thinking of. Cherdyakov, If the sneeze meant so little to the minister, why did he deliberately cause Cherdyakov to writhe in his bed? Writhe, you know, when you have stomach ache and you writhe in the bed, like twist in the bed when you are you just can't handle it, so you writhe in the bed, moves in the bed. So Cherdyakov says to twist in agony. Agony is before death. When God forbid someone is dying, he faces an agony, a huge pain. So the person is twisting from this huge pain. Cherdyakov talking to himself. I twist in agony the entire night. I am furious. And he foamed and fumed, fumed when you are so angry. In this cartoon, when someone is so angry, he gets fume out of his nose. He paced the night through, and in the morning he kept walking the whole night, and in the morning he called his wife, Sonia, I have been humiliated.
You? Who would humiliate you? You're such a kind and generous person.
Don't tell you who! General Brasov, the Minister of Public Parks!
What did he do?
The swine! I was humiliated in such subtle fashion it was almost indiscernible. The man's cunning is equal only to his cruelty. He practically forced me to come to his office to grovel and beg on my knees. I was reduced to a gibbering idiot.
You were that reduced?
I must go back and tell him what I think of him. The lower classes must speak up. The world must be made safe so that men of all nations and creeds, regardless of religion or colour, will be made safe to sneeze on his superiors. It is he who will be humiliated by I.
Sonia, I have been humiliated, he says. The wife says, Who, Ivan, who humiliated you? He says, Who? I will tell you who. The General Blasselhoff, the Minister of Public Parks, he humiliated me. So she says, what did he do? Cherdyakov says to her, the swine. I was humiliated in such subtle fashion. It was almost indiscernible. The man's cunning is all equal only to his cruelty. The general is cunning in someone so smart. It is equal to his cruelty. He is smart and he is cruel. The general is cruel and cunning. He forced me to go to his office and beg on my knees for forgiveness. Is that happened? The general forced Cherdyakov to go and apologize on his knees? Of course, we all know that it didn't happen, but it is in his mind, in Cherdyakov's mind. So the wife would say, you were that reduced? You were that low? Cherdyakov says, I must go back and tell him what I think of him. I am a lower class. The lower class should speak up. They should talk. They should express themselves. The word must be made safe for us. The word is safe for men of all nations, for all creeds. Regardless the color or religion, we all must be equal. We all must be free to sneeze on each other. We are allowed to sneeze. We have to be free to sneeze on our superiors. It is he who will be humiliated by I. I will go and humiliate him, and I will tell him I am a lower class. I have freedom to sneeze at you at any time.